Matthew John Holley died about 6 weeks ago while fighting in Iraq. In the days after his death, his parents realized the military was, as they called it, disrespecting fallen military members by sending them home as freight. No flags on coffin, no honor guards. Since then, they've embarked on a mission.
We don't want this to be a political message. This has nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with the respect of our fallen soldiers.
This is the way dead heroes are supposed to come home. Their coffins draped with the American flag, greeted by a color guard. But in reality, they're arriving as freight on commercial airliners, stuffed in the belly of a plane with suitcases and other cargo. No color guard, just baggage handlers. John Holley and his wife Stacy were stunned when they found out the body of their only child, Matthew, who died in Iraq last month, would be arriving at Lindbergh Field as freight.
I mean, he's a war hero, for crying out loud, you know. When somebody dies in combat, you know, they need to give them the due respect that they deserve for the sacrifice that they made.
Holley and his wife Stacy, who were in the Army, made some calls, and with the help of U.S. Senator Barbara Boxer, Matthew was greeted with honor and respect.
They let us go out there, and my son was there with the honor guard, like he should be, with the flag draped on his casket.
Our familiarity with the military protocol and things of that sort allowed us to kind of put our foot down, but we're not sure that other parents have that same knowledge.
The Holleys now want to make sure every fallen hero gets the proper welcome.
These people should be coming home in full dignity and full honor all the way to their home of record.
The Holleys have been speaking about this on national television, radio, newspapers.
I'm glad that it got as much attention as it has, but we've just barely scratched the surface.
They are starting to get results. U.S. Senator Barbara Boxer and Congressman Duncan Hunter have sent letters asking the military to make changes.
We're addressing this, and we're going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. This is something that we can do for people that have served our country and given this sacrifice for our country.
I can remember very clearly the day that he was born. He was born at home, not in a hospital, and I distinctly remember as our son arrived into the world with wide open eyes, his father exuberantly expressing it's a boy. Matthew John Holley had arrived, and
yeah, he's a potato.
When Matt was 3 was when we started attending Midway, and we just, you know, we had returned to San Diego, and we were reestablishing ourselves down here and working, and we didn't have a church home. And I don't quite know how we ended up at Midway, but we did, and thank goodness. We felt just a warmth and an embracing from day one.
We got the knock at the door, and I was home by myself. And so the doorbell rang, and of course I went down there, and there they were. And then we went through that whole scenario with being informed, and then I had to wait for Stacy to come home and tell her. And I don't know how I was able to do this except for the grace of God, because again, I was able to contain myself, and I don't know to this day how I was able to do that.
So, you know, it's been 3.5 years now, and it does get easier. The hole in the heart is smaller. But we miss Matthew every day, and he's not far from our minds or our discussions at points in time. And I remember saying something that night that we were informed of Matthew's death, and that is that if there's ever a reason to question your faith, it's when events like this happen in your life. That day that we were informed, and said to myself that I wasn't going to let Satan win this battle. And so it has been a walk of faith, and it's, I think, fair to say that I've drawn closer to the Lord as a result of this. And in drawing closer to the Lord, have been able to reach out to other parents that are just beginning this journey. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm at absolute peace where my son is at, and I just don't have the enjoyment of having him here with me. But one day, and oh, what a glorious day that'll be.
I can't even imagine somebody going through this without faith. I can't imagine going through this without knowing and hearing those words from Matthew, "Yeah, Dad." If something happens to me, I know where I'm going. That right there keeps me alive.